Are you missing out on hundreds, even thousands of extra black pepper peppercorns? What if I told you the way you've been growing black pepper for years is fundamentally flawed, and you're leaving a significant portion of your harvest on the vine? Fellow gardeners, prepare to have your mind blown and your pepper yields revolutionized. Today, we're diving deep into the hidden world of black pepper cultivation, where ancient secrets meet modern science to unlock yields you never thought possible. The story of black pepper yields begins centuries ago when this precious spice was literally worth its weight in gold. Ancient cultivators in the western Ghats of India didn't stumble upon massive harvests by accident. They developed sophisticated techniques that modern gardeners have largely forgotten. These early pepper masters understood something crucial. Black pepper vines are incredibly responsive to their environment, but only when you know exactly which environmental factors matter most. Historical records reveal that the most successful pepper gardens of the past weren't necessarily located in what we'd consider ideal tropical conditions. Instead, they were strategically positioned in microclimates that created specific stress patterns in the plants. These controlled stress environments actually triggered the vines to produce significantly more peppercorns as a survival mechanism. The ancient growers intuitively understood that a slightly challenged plant often outperforms a pampered one. What's truly fascinating is how geopolitical events shaped cultivation techniques over the centuries. When trade routes shifted and pepper became even more valuable, growers were forced to maximize every square inch of their plantations. This economic pressure led to innovations in vine training, intercropping, and harvest timing that increased yields by up to 300% compared to basic growing methods. These techniques were closely guarded secrets passed down through generations, and many have been lost to time, until now. Here's where most gardeners get it completely wrong. You've probably been told that black pepper needs consistent warmth, high humidity, and rich soil. Now, while these conditions won't actually kill your plants, they're far from optimal if you're aiming for maximum yield. The shocking truth is that the highest-yielding pepper vines actually experience controlled temperature fluctuations, strategic dry periods, and soil that's nutritionally complex rather than simply rich. Let's talk about soil composition first. While most guides recommend just adding compost and calling it good, peak-producing pepper gardens really require a very specific mineral profile. Your soil needs adequate levels of potassium and phosphorus. But here's the kicker: too much nitrogen actually reduces peppercorn production. Many gardeners unknowingly sabotage their yields by over-fertilizing with nitrogen-heavy fertilizers, which creates lush green vines that, honestly, produce pretty disappointing harvests. The genetic component of yield potential is perhaps the most overlooked factor in home cultivation. Not all black pepper varieties are created equal, and honestly, the difference in yield potential between cultivars can be staggering. For example, the Paniyur 1 variety developed in India can produce up to 40% more peppercorns than common varieties, while Srikara offers exceptional disease resistance that translates to more consistent harvests. Yet most gardeners simply buy whatever pepper plant is available at their local nursery, unknowingly limiting their potential from day one. The 2025 growing season has presented, well, some unique challenges and opportunities for pepper cultivation. Recent weather patterns have shown us that traditional watering schedules are not just inefficient, they're actually actively harmful to yield development. The key revelation here is understanding that black pepper vines have evolved to handle monsoon cycles, which means they actually produce more when they experience distinct wet and dry periods rather than just consistent moisture. Innovative water management really starts with understanding the pepper plant's natural rhythm. So, during the flowering phase, which typically happens in late spring, your vines need adequate moisture, but honestly, excellent drainage is just as important. However, during fruit development in summer, applying strategic water stress, by reducing watering by about 30% for 3 to 4 weeks, actually concentrates the plant's energy into peppercorn production instead of just vegetative growth. This kind of controlled stress mimics the natural dry season these plants evolved with, and yeah, it can increase your harvest by 40 to 60%. Climate adaptation, also means rethinking your garden's microclimate management. Smart pepper growers these days are using shade cloth strategically, not to provide constant shade but to create temperature differentials throughout the day. Installing 30% shade cloth that can be deployed during the hottest part of the day, usually from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m., helps prevent heat stress while still allowing those beneficial temperature fluctuations that trigger increased flowering. The most devastating yield killer isn't what you'd expect. It's actually harvesting at the wrong time. Most gardeners wait until peppercorns are fully mature and starting to turn red, thinking they're maximizing their harvest. But, honestly, this is completely backwards. Peak yield harvesting occurs when the peppercorns are fully grown, but still green and hard. Waiting too long not only reduces the quantity you can harvest, since some will drop naturally, but it also signals the plant to reduce flowering for next season's crop. Nutrient deficiencies masquerading as other problems destroy more pepper harvests than any pest or disease. Magnesium deficiency, which appears as yellowing between leaf veins, is often misdiagnosed as overwatering or natural aging. However, magnesium is crucial for chlorophyll production and photosynthesis. Without adequate levels, your plant simply can't produce the energy needed for maximum peppercorn development. A simple monthly application of Epsom salt, that's magnesium sulfate, can increase yields by 25 to 35%. Perhaps the most shocking yield killer is improper vine training. Black pepper vines are climbing plants that can reach 12 to 15 feet in optimal conditions, but most gardeners, well, they severely undersupport their plants. A pepper vine that's allowed to trail on the ground or is inadequately supported will produce 60 to 70% fewer peppercorns than one that's properly trellised. The key is providing strong vertical support that allows the vine to climb naturally while ensuring adequate air circulation around all parts of the plant. Implementing these revelations requires a systematic approach that, honestly, challenges everything you thought you knew about pepper growing. Start by evaluating your current setup against optimal conditions. Not just the basic survival conditions you'll find in most growing guides, but the peak performance conditions that commercial growers use to maximize their profits. Your first step should be soil testing, specifically for potassium, phosphorus, and magnesium levels. Most home soil tests don't measure magnesium, but it's crucial enough that you should invest in a more comprehensive test. Once you know your baseline, you can adjust your soil amendments to create the mineral profile that supports maximum peppercorn production. The future of black pepper cultivation is moving toward precision agriculture techniques adapted for home gardeners. This means using technology like soil moisture sensors to implement precise watering schedules and temperature monitoring to optimize your microclimate management. While these tools might seem a bit excessive for a home garden, the yield improvements they enable, often 50 to 100% increases, more than justify the investment for serious pepper growers. Looking ahead, the market demand for high-quality homegrown black pepper is only increasing as more people discover the dramatic difference in flavor and potency compared to store-bought pepper. By implementing these advanced techniques now, you're not just improving your current harvest, you're positioning yourself to have the most productive pepper garden in your area, with yields that will shock your fellow gardeners and potentially even generate income if you choose to sell your surplus. Your challenge now is to implement these strategies systematically and document your results. Track your harvest weights, note the timing of your interventions, and prepare to be amazed by what your pepper vines are truly capable of producing. The gardeners who embrace these methods don't just grow black pepper, they master one of the world's most valuable spices right in their own backyard. Ready to revolutionize your pepper harvest? Subscribe to Smart Garden for more game-changing gardening secrets that will transform your yields, and share this guide with fellow gardeners who are ready to unlock their garden's true potential. Your most abundant harvest is just one season away.